Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm going to be doing a video on if Kyle Lowry is a Hall of Famer. I'm a bit late on this trend because there's this big discussion going around a bit ago about if Kyle Lowry and Andre Iguodala are Hall of Famers. I'm going to be doing Kyle Lowry. I'll do Iggy if you want, but I didn't really watch the NBA when he was, a star. Started watching, in the early Warriors dynasty days. That's when I really started watching it. But, yeah, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. I really do think Kyle Lowry is a Hall of Famer. He's a 6-time All-Star, all times with Toronto. He's 33, so he still probably has a few more years left of being a Hall of Famer. And he's just been a great teammate, great player. And, he won a finals, so that's added onto his resume. And it wasn't even like he was bad in the finals. I think he arguably provided the second most impact over Siakam, because people were like, oh yeah, Siakam, Lowry, and Leonard are good, but, Lowry definitely had a down year in the regular season that season. So people are arguing that Siakam was the second best player on the team. When Lowry stepped it up, Kyle Lowry, he stepped it up in the finals. And especially in the postseason also, but especially the finals. And people are like, oh, Kyle Lowry's actually trying. And I think that he was a big reason that they won. And that shot that Green blocked, that was one shot out of all of them. Don't really think anyone should be really talking about that. But he had a great season then. But even, so let's talk about the first few years. He did pretty bad the first few years with Memphis and Houston. But at the end of his stint in Houston, it seems like he really seemed like he knew what player he was. Then once he got to Toronto, he just went off. He was an all-star the last 6 times, and he's played on Toronto for 8 years, but he's done really good all 8 years. And his career, he's only put up about 15 points per game, but he's put up about 6 assists. And, he really knows how to pass it, but throughout Toronto, we're looking at the past, 6 years, let's say, he's put up 7 years. 7.4 assists, 6.8, 6.4, 7.0, 6.9, 8.7, and 7.7. Even years before that, 6.7, 6.6, and 6.4. So he's been putting up a ton of assists for a while. And then you also have his rebounding. He's not a bad rebounder for a point guard. About 4 assists per game, 4.5. But that's not bad rebounding for a point guard. And he's pretty efficient, especially the last 10 years, he's put up over 40% from the field. And over the past, 10 years, he's put up over 35% or 33% from 3, but only one of those years was below 34%, and only 2 of them were below 35%. He's went as high as about 41% from 3. So he's an incredibly efficient scorer, and he's had a pretty good free throw. He's about 81% through his career. So he's really efficient. He's been really good for pretty much his whole career. And he's had such a big impact, especially this year, even without Leonard. He's really stepped his game up, went from 14 points to 20 points, and he stepped a bit down in assists, but that's because Kawhi left. But he's had such a big impact ever since this year, basically. And his steals have always been really good, about 1.5 steals per game. But it's really the impact that he's always made on his team. He's always had a really big impact on the team. And that's really what Kyle Lowry is about. And yes, I do think Kyle Lowry, I don't know why I pronounced it like that, but I do think Kyle Lowry will be a Hall of Famer and should be a Hall of Famer. Especially since, we're talking, let's say Hall of Fame, about, let's say the best 4 or 5 people every single year from, let's say, one draft class, since 4 or 5 people every year. About Kyle Lowry's a top 4 or 5 player from his draft class. And let's say maybe not only his draft class, other draft classes all combined. He's a top average 4 to 5 player in his draft classes. So yes, I do think Kyle Lowry will and should be a Hall of Famer. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Be healthy, stay safe. And shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies. They literally just commented on one of my videos. I'm so hyped about it. I'm so happy. So, yeah, you guys are now one of my favorite teams. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Be healthy, stay safe, and peace.